Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stop. Who Does That? The true crime podcast where the stories are real, the headlines are recent, and the reactions are exactly what you're thinking.
Every week, we dive into the latest jaw-dropping moments from the world of true crime. The wait, did that really happen? Kind of cases that make you pause and say, well, stop.
Stop. Who does
that?
that? We'll break down the facts, the motives, the unbelievable twists, and the human side behind the crimes you're seeing in today's news.
So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk about the wildest, weirdest, and most shocking headlines hitting the true crime world right now.
On today's episode, we will be covering updates on the singer David, Anna Kepner, Angie Mock, and even the Jeffrey Epstein case. So let's get into it. Angie, what do you have for us today?
Okay, so Jackie, the first case we will be talking about is the singer David, or as he's known, D4vd. I think we're just going to refer to him as David for ease of everything. So basically, the singer David is considered a suspect in the death investigation of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found inside an impounded Tesla back in September. So this is an ongoing case. It started in September when her body was found in the trunk of the Tesla. I know that it was in there. What do you think, Jackie, for quite some time? Like, it was decomposing.
Yeah, I think I heard the last anyone had heard from her was April of this year.
So they met years before this. And
Really?
they say they were friends. She went to a bunch of his concerts. She was also much younger than him. He's in his 20s.
Oh my gosh.
So that was kind of an odd relationship, and I don't know where her parents were during this friendship.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I honestly think they also may have lived together. I don't know what was going. She was on some of his videos. He also was a
Really?
YouTuber, and so he kind of started as a YouTuber, and then he became like this pretty well-known singer. As of recent. Basically, that's kind of how they knew each other. And then her body was found, and the main update in this case that's breaking right now is that basically he is considered a suspect.
Yeah.
They said there was no suspects. We don't know. We're not looking into him. But the breaking news on this story is now the authorities are saying that David is considered a suspect.
Right. Exactly. And notably, according to TMZ, he did make some changes to his assets in September after the case was opened, and he transferred ownership of 2 homes he owns in Houston, Texas to his mother. So that's a big deal. We know what that means, right?
That's shady, and that definitely doesn't make him look good.
No.
It makes him look like he is trying to secure his assets in case something bad happens to him.
Yep. By it being under his mother's ownership, he doesn't have any threat of losing his home or having it taken away or them using those assets for damages. Yeah.
They can't. Her family now, it will all be in the mother's name.
Yeah.
So her family won't be able to really come after those assets.
Mm-hmm.
And so his record label and, everything like that also distanced themselves from him. He basically has gone under the radar right now. I think he sold his home or that he was paying rent on as well.
Yeah.
So
he had all these houses.
Yeah, he had. So that's, the latest. They are considering him a suspect, and I don't believe he's been arrested, but it's probably coming.
No, and I did also read that he was not cooperating for the longest time with authorities. Sources with knowledge of the investigation say David is not cooperating with the investigation and has never cooperated, despite what his PR reps have claimed. So it says here he was on tour when the body was discovered, and had a stop scheduled in Los Angeles on September 20th. The remainder of the tour was abruptly canceled before that tour amid the investigation. Well, even
Yeah.
if you were on tour when the body was discovered, she's been missing for a long time.
Yeah, according to the way it's decomposing, it's not like, I mean, it could have been well in the trunk before he went on tour.
Right, exactly.
And
Exactly.
who else really did this 15-year-old girl have any enemies? You know, she's 15 years
Right.
old. Who else possibly could be involved in this kind of murder, shoving her body in a trunk and just absolutely having no disregard for her life? She's 15 years old. I just can't imagine
I
anyone
know.
else besides him having anything to do with this.
I mean, do we know anything about her family? Because 15 is so young. And if she was hanging around with him for the last couple of years,
Yeah. I think he
where
was
were
grooming
they?
her. I think that they met at a young age, and
Yeah.
she must, yeah, she to be 15 and be living with him. I don't know where her parents are or what kind of home life she had, but
Aw.
obviously it must not have been
Great.
that great for her to be
Oh.
seeking out living arrangements with this 20-year-old David. I mean, 33 million listeners on Spotify. This isn't just some up and coming artist. Like, he was pretty famous.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're starting to feel our age now because I had never heard of him until
No,
this. But I
no.
imagine, our children, maybe
I'm sure,
teenagers
yeah, I'm
nowadays.
sure my son have definitely heard of, never heard of this David. You know, but apparently he's pretty well known, on TikTok. Three,
Mm-hmm.
three, 3.6 million followers on TikTok. So yeah,
Wow.
I mean, we'll keep following this case and see what happens. But I have a feeling that it's impending. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to make some moves on him. It's just a matter of time.
I know. And where there's smoke, there's usually fire. According to the article here, sources tell ABC News that investigators have been in contact with multiple people they believed were involved in the case in some capacity. And those investigators tell ABC News they are certain they are going down the right path for a suspect. So,
All right, we'll leave it at
sounds
that.
like there's more to this than we know yet.
Yeah, we'll
And
keep following it. It's
uh,
one of these stories that's in the news weekly. So we will definitely keep everyone posted on what's happening with David.
yes, for sure. And our thoughts and prayers do go out to her family. This
Absolutely.
can't be easy. I mean, your poor baby is in that trunk for months and just
Yeah.
abandoned like that. That's just
Yeah. It's
disgusting.
horrible to think of your own child, to
Yeah.
be treated like that. And she had her whole life ahead of her and she didn't deserve this at all. No.
No, not at all. All right, Jenna,
All
what
right.
do you have for us next?
Okay, Jackie, our next case is on Anna Kepner. This is a recent story that just happened at the
On your
beginning.
birthday.
Yeah, on November 7th, which happens to be my birthday. You know, when you're watching a crime show or listening to a podcast and the date is your birthday, you're like, oh no, my
Yeah.
birthday. Like, even if it's like back in the 80s or 90s and you're just like, wow, that was my birthday.
You know what case? It's funny you say that because I immediately think of Heyman, the Adnan Syed case.
Oh,
And
yes.
my birthday is February 10th. So, like,
Yes.
something happened. I think a lot of things went down around
Yes.
February with her case, and I'll always remember that. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tags your memory to the
It
case.
does, and then you're thinking,
Yeah.
oh wow, I'm celebrating my birthday, and then where this
This poor thing happened.
yeah,
I
these
know.
huge like horrific things are going on. It's like it's just
Yeah.
wild. But yeah, so this is a very new story. Just happened, like we said, on November 7th. Anna, she's a former, Florida high school cheerleader, was found dead on a Carnival cruise ship. She was on a cruise with her family. Now, the main update for this case is her 16-year-old stepbrother has been considered a suspect. This is stemming from claims by her ex-boyfriend of inappropriate late-night FaceTime calls and creepy behavior. Her ex-boyfriend witnessed creepy interactions with the stepbrother visiting her bedroom at 3 a.m. FaceTime calls, a source close to the family told Fox News. So that's not normal. Said, "When I was on FaceTime with her, she was laying down. Her brother tried to get on top of her," the 15-year-old ex-boyfriend has told reporters. So this has just come out from the ex-boyfriend. Jackie, if you want to give some background, now that we know the update, the step-brother is
Mm-hmm.
considered a suspect. He was on the family cruise with them
Yes.
during this time. So if you want to give some background on kind of what happened that day.
Yeah, so they were all on vacation as a big family. The father has been married 3 times. So Anna's father is married to his third wife right now. She was on the cruise, and I believe the stepbrother in question is this third wife's son.
Mhm.
So they were all sharing rooms together, and then they also had access to alcohol as well, and they're all under the age of 21.
Oh, wow,
Um,
I didn't realize that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not good.
So, given that they were all together in the room, my biggest question was if they were all sharing a room, why was it a housekeeper that found Anna's body the next morning?
Right. So where do you think that the other siblings were? Do you think they just woke up and, left the room and they never once were like, "Where's Anna?"
Right, unless they all got drunk and left her alone and then slept in a different cabin. It sounds to me like there were multiple cabins that were rented
Yeah.
out for this family. So I don't know if maybe they were out all night. I know you've probably been on a cruise. I've been on a cruise. Like there's plenty of places you can go all night. So I don't know if they were just out of the cabin, but she was found by the housekeeper wrapped in a blanket and concealed with life jackets under the bed. So that shows somebody's trying to cover something up.
Oh, definitely. That she's hidden. Not only is she hidden under the bed, she's covered with life jackets. Where do you think they got these life jackets from? Like,
Right.
I mean, then it does make you think, well, was it an employee of the cruise ship? I mean, there these people, like, there are so many employees, so many, different people coming and going at all times. It does make you wonder.
Wonder.
I mean, you have to have an open mind, but I mean, the step sibling being creepy towards her and all of this coming out now does kind of paint a clearer picture of what may have transpired in that room.
And to your point about the employees on the cruise ship, I know they're from all different countries.
Mhm.
Remember, they have on their name tags, it'll say what country they're from. Who knows, right? They could
Yeah.
be criminals in their home country.
And we
Not
know.
pointing fingers, not pointing fingers, but,
No.
you know,
You don't know their background. I mean, who knows? And we know from other cases like Amy Bradley and so many others, being on a cruise ship it's basically lawless. Like you're in the middle of
hmm
the ocean and
international waters.
international
Yeah.
waters, and there's really it's not like you're in the United States anymore. So things are treated a lot
hmm
differently. And who knows what even went on in that room? Did they clean it? Did they
Yeah.
preserve the evidence? Has the room been like, what happened when they did discover her body? Did they, notify the authorities or whoever was in charge of security? Did they look at tapes?
hmm
Those are things that are going to come out as well, I'm sure, to see who she went in that room with and who came out.
Yeah. And to back to your point about the stepbrother, apparently the ex-boyfriend, he reported the encounter to Anna's parents and said she had complained about being uncomfortable around her stepbrother before. He went on to describe Anna as his first love and said he would have been on the cruise with Kepner family earlier this month if they hadn't broken up.
Wow.
Notably, after Anna's death, the stepbrother's father demanded a custody hearing. So the wife that is on the cruise, Anna's father's wife, third wife, her name is Chantel Hudson. So
Hmm.
that's Anna's stepmother. So it's her son that we're talking about here. And his biological father asked to have an emergency meeting, a hearing Thursday morning because he's claiming that Chantel has tried to alienate his children. Um,
Yeah. I mean, There's something
The
going
timing
on.
there. What about that? That's interesting timing. Why would you wait until this tragedy
Yes, yes,
happens?
I was thinking the same thing. Why would you possibly wait? Now, these are your kids for how many years, and you're gonna wait until this to file something like that? There's something going on. So, like,
Yeah,
something's not adding up with this family at all. The covering up the stepbrother's behavior, not listening to the ex-boyfriend, being very secretive, they're being very shady, and I think more is going to come out.
absolutely. And
Definitely.
funny enough, we were talking about this case yesterday offline, and the first thing that Jenna said to me was, "What's the relationship like with the step siblings?" Right? Because this
Yes.
was before we knew about him being now looked at as a
Yes,
suspect.
I just knew. I just knew.
Yeah,
Well, then when they kept saying step siblings, I thought
yeah.
that's weird. Like, why aren't they saying their name or saying step brother? They were just being so general about it. I thought they were withholding information.
Also, I think another thing was you were like, why are they all like? I think it said that she was sharing a room with the stepbrother,
Yes.
and you're like, that's inappropriate.
Yes, and we know that because they haven't said his name, he's
Yeah,
underage.
he
He's
is
under
underage.
18.
Yeah,
So why would you leave, a 15, 16-year-old step siblings in a cabin alone?
yeah.
That just goes back to the parents again. Something's not right with these parents, and it'll definitely come out. It, like we said, this is a new case just happening, so we'll keep on it.
Stay posted.
Yep.
What do you have for us next,
Okay,
Jenna?
so our third update, this happened on October 31st. It was Halloween, believe it or not. This is the case of Angie Mock. Her full name is Angeline. She basically, allegedly, is charged in killing her mother on October 31st, fatally stabbing her 80-year-old mother at their Wichita, Kansas home. She's a former news anchor, and if you can pull up pictures of her, Jackie, we looked at the pictures. That she was
Oh my
a
god.
typical news anchor. I mean, very polished, very with it. And this was only 5 or so years ago.
Yes,
And
let me see if I can pull them up while you're talking.
yeah, so her mugshot, clearly she's been through it. She's no longer a news anchor, for one. She also, Jackie, lived with her mother. So I'm going to assume it was her mother's home that this happened in. She was living with her mother, and she wasn't a newscaster anymore. I don't know what she did for work, if anything. Um but
Yeah, there we go.
she is going through it. She's going through something in the last few years. She talk about a glow down.
It's like night and day, poor thing. But
It is sad.
the
It is
more you
sad.
read, you find out though there's some mental illness going on, and we know mental illness can really wreak havoc in families and on people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
what do you so when she, after the stabbing, when she came, I guess she came out into the street in the neighborhood, ran up to one of her neighbors in their vehicle and asked to use their phone. She was covered in blood, runs up to this neighbor's car and says, "I need to use your phone." What do you think was going through her mind? Like, where was her own cell phone? I'm sure they had a house phone.
Yeah.
Why would she run into the street and, like, ask the neighbor for the phone?
Well, I think if she was amidst, a psychotic episode or what have you, I don't think she was thinking quite logically. It sounds to me in this article from People magazine, this is the latest article we could find before our episode today. It came to light that she had some issues going on with bipolar disorder. Nita's husband, Barry, so this is her mother's father, or I'm sorry, her mother's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if it's Angie's biological dad, but he allegedly told officers that Angie moved in with the couple 4 or 5 years earlier when she was laid off because of an explosive situation involving alcohol.
Huh.
Anita allegedly encouraged her daughter to seek treatment with a psychiatrist at the time, per Barry's statement to the police. Barry remembered Angeline was originally diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but was later revised to schizoaffective disorder. So schizoaffective disorder is essentially you have the mood swings associated with bipolar disorder, but you also have some auditory or visual
Oh,
hallucinations that are part of schizophrenia. So it's like the two. It's like bipolar and a little bit of schizophrenia.
yikes. Yeah.
To his knowledge, Angeline was on medication, but he did not know what type and only assumed she took it as prescribed. She also had angry outbursts, but he never felt she was violent or felt threatened. He did tell officers that stepdaughter had an explosive outburst a few years ago that required hospitalization for about 2 weeks. And then he recalled another outburst 3 or 4 weeks before the killing where she allegedly yelled at family during a card game. Quote, she accused the family of hating her, and she said she hated everyone. He said she's also made statements in the past such as, quote, they're all robots, and quote, they're not real people. So she definitely was kind of losing touch with
Definitely. And
reality.
she's 47 years old. So
Yeah.
this could have been going on her most of her adult life. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe when she was newscasting, she was medicated. Maybe she went
Mm-hmm.
off her meds and,
Yeah.
because it seemed like she was holding it together for some portion of
Time.
life there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she may have come off her meds and it seems like she was not in touch with reality,
Yeah.
especially at this time. And, her mother, an 80-year-old woman, isn't a threat to her. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what kind of excuse
Well,
to use.
her excuse is she told this story to the police that, quote, her mother tried to kill her, so she stabbed her in return. Next to Anita on the bed, an officer located multiple kitchen-style knives and a cheese grater laid out on a pillow, states the affidavit.
Okay.
All the utensils had blood on them. The top sheet had at least 12 holes in the top half of the sheet, consistent with those caused by a knife. When an officer asked what happened, Mock allegedly responded that she went to her mother's room to, quote, talk and saw her sharpening knives. So she's saying she saw her 80-year-old mother
Okay. Yeah.
sharpening
Okay.
knives, and then she alleged her mother then came after her with a knife.
Yeah, her bedridden 80-year-old mother came after her with a sharpened knife. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that anyone is going to buy that.
Angeline was stronger, so she pushed her back, the affidavit states. Her mother then said, quote, I know you're fucking Jesus Christ. So she backed away. Angeline said her mother started spewing venom at me out of her fucking mouth, so she had to stab her to save herself.
Okay. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. I mean, yeah, of course. When someone's spewing venom at you, yeah, you're just going to have to stab them 12 times. Yeah, of course. Well, I
Yeah.
think that's a great excuse to use. She'll definitely get off. No, not at all.
I mean, it does call into question her state of mind when she committed the acts. We know from being armchair crime junkies
Yeah.
that sometimes you can get off by reason of insanity, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it does say here that they did schedule a competency hearing last week.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I will say that the history of this does point to mental illness for
yeah.
sure. I don't think she's making that up. Like, I definitely think she was mentally ill.
For sure. I mean, just looking at those before and after photos of her, clearly something happened there. I do
Mhm.
know sometimes schizophrenia, well, bipolar tends to kind of rear its ugly head in adulthood.
Mhm.
Schizophrenia can be anywhere between 18 and age 30,
Yeah.
35 when you have your first psychotic episode. So it does sound consistent with like having a good career and things going well and then
Yeah.
not so much. It's really sad because once she's medicated and kind of comes back into herself, she's going to realize what she did. And I can't
Yeah.
imagine the guilt that comes with that.
Yeah,
Um,
your own mother. I mean, that's just unspeakable. I mean, it's just hard to wrap your brain around.
yeah.
Not even just your mother, but your 80-year-old bedridden mother. I just
Yeah.
a defenseless elderly woman. I just can't I just honestly, who does that?
Additionally, on that same vein, according to the affidavit, after Mock was treated at the hospital, because she did have some defensive wounds, it sounds like, on her arms, she was taken to the police for an interview. Angie made multiple statements talking to herself where she believed her mother was the devil. She said, quote, I'd kill that bitch to have my mom back any day. I don't even know who she is anymore. I know. I believe she is the devil.
Wow. Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I know. It's sad because mental illness can really make you believe that
Yeah, it's sad
he's,
for
yeah,
for all
it is.
involved. Her mom, stepdad, any of their family, their neighbors, that had to be kind of, inadvertently a part of this
Yeah.
with the phone and witnessing her covered in blood. Now they're, have traumatized from this as well. So it just affects so many people, and we'll keep following it. She's still in jail. They did not give her bond, so
Yeah, they're going to see if she can stand for trial and be competent. Remember, that reminds me, they put Lori Daybell through a competency hearing, and I was actually shocked they found her fit to stand for trial
yeah,
because if anyone was out of touch with reality, it was her.
yeah,
But we'll see if they find her to be fit to stand for trial.
yeah,
Even so, I can see a jury, again, we don't know all the details of her mental health history, but if it does turn out that there was a history, maybe she'll get a lesser charge at some point. It'll be
yeah.
interesting to see how this plays out, though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's not as straightforward due to the mental health. So we'll
Yeah,
definitely keep following it and keep everyone posted on any new updates on Angie Mock.
right.
Yep. And
And we're
so
on our last update.
our last update, Jackie, if you want to speak a little bit about this man, I'm sure everyone's familiar with his name by now.
I mean, he's a man that needs no introduction at this point. If you're familiar with Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files, you're in luck because it did get passed by the House and Senate and
Yes.
signed by
Yep.
Donald Trump on November 19th to compel the Department of Justice to release its complete files related to the investigation. So now you're probably wondering, when am I going to find these things on the
Yeah.
DOJ website?
When finally, when are they finally going to be available?
So they have a 30-day deadline to make them available to the public, with exceptions for the protection of victim privacy and ongoing investigations.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine a lot is going to be redacted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
A
sure.
lot.
We're not yet. They're only going to release what they want for, this has been ongoing for so many years at this point. I'm sure whatever they're releasing is going to be filtered anyway.
I saw a meme on Instagram somewhere. Maybe it was a quote from someone that said something like, if they release the Epstein files, it's going to cause economic destruction because the men that could be involved in this case are
Yeah.
people in such high positions of power that our economy
no.
could be disrupted by all this. And maybe that could be a reason why they've been so reluctant to
Yeah.
release them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Donald Trump has some ties to Jeffrey Epstein, as does Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Prince Andrew, and those
oh
are,
yes,
and so many the celebrities that those have come out that, like,
Mhm.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, those have already been named. Eminem, but it's the people who haven't been named yet that are most intriguing, I think, to everyone.
Mhm. And just to clarify, their names, they were named as being a part of the plane manifest,
Yes.
but that doesn't mean they may or may not have been involved in the
Correct.
trafficking
Correct.
aspect of it.
They
Yeah.
were named
Yeah.
as going to the island, as
Or
basically,
being friends with him at
yeah,
this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not for trafficking, not for anything like that. So that's what is kind of vague, and nobody really knows who was directly involved with that. Like, we know there's trafficking going on related to Epstein. We just don't know
Yeah.
who.
Yeah.
Who those prominent people were that were involved. And we'll see. 30 days. So we should be hearing something within 30 days.
Yeah. And I did hear Larry Summers. He was the former president of Harvard, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was just recently teaching a class at Harvard and was telling everyone in the classroom, you might hear my name come up and that I was friends with Jeffrey Epstein and things like that. So he's already trying to do a little bit of damage control, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
To see.
Very.
It's going to be very... I mean, we've been calling for this for how many years?
So many years. I mean,
Yeah.
if they can get this out by the end of this year, I would be impressed, and
Yeah.
that'd be exciting news. So we'll like keep on top of it and keep watching. 30 days, that will put us right before Christmas. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That might be, that alone might be, something worth noting, as well as the timing of this at the end of the year and what their angle is with that as well. So we'll keep watching for that release date.
Yes, we will. All right. So this is the
Right.
last part of our podcast. We wanted to introduce a segment where we're just going to go on the fly here and Google Florida man or Florida woman. And then Jenna's going to pick a date. And then we're going to read off the craziest story from that date. This comes from something I saw on the internet where it was like, hey, Google Florida man or Florida woman with your birthday.
Yeah.
And post the article that you get. And it was just hilarious because you got some crazy stuff that came up.
Alligators, there's, one-legged people, there's all sorts of crazy stuff that happens in Florida. And not just on your birthday, literally any day of the year. That's why we're just going to pick a random day and see what we find.
All right, Jenna, what's the date?
All right, I'm just going to think of the first date that comes to my head. And I am picking October 2nd.
Right. And then I'm going to share my screen so we can see this. See what comes up here. Can you see my screen?
I hope it's something good. Yep, I can.
Florida man accused of stealing mail. Let's see. Oh my God. Florida man accused of trying to buy 8-year-old girl.
Wow.
Should I click on that one? I think.
Yeah.
That one's what? Okay,
buying
Florida,
an 8-year-old. Oh my!
For $200,000. This happened October 2nd.
Oh, I mean,
this was reported October 2nd, 2018. So we're talking 7 years ago. Oh my gosh, you're getting our live reaction right now. Okay,
that's pretty recent.
I scroll down and I see an 81-year-old man. Wow. Okay, we have to read this.
Oh,
so this happened in Port Orange, Florida.
81
Did you jump ahead? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We got to get into this. Okay. Port Orange, Florida. This is reported by Eyewitness News, ABC 7. An 81-year-old Florida man attempted to buy an 8-year-old girl from her mother for $200,000 at a Walmart, police said. His name, oh my gosh.
At a Walmart.
Helmuth Kolb was arrested Saturday on charges of simple battery. Helmuth? What the?
Okay. The man's name is, first of all, the man's name is Helmuth. That, I can't even. That's Helmuth. Okay.
It sounds like a curse word. Like, okay. He was arrested on Saturday on charges of simple battery and false imprisonment. Police said Tracy Nye was sitting with her daughter on a bench inside the Walmart when Kolb approached, asked if she was married, and started bidding on her daughter. Nye says she got up to leave, but Kolb grabbed her daughter and kissed her daughter's wrist. Oh my, I would have. Right,
you should. Yeah, I wish that everyone could see our face right now. Like that.
They can see our face right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see our faces.
Yeah, you'll be able to see our live reaction to this.
Okay. According to an arrest report, Nye left her daughter and alerted store security. Authorities said the exchange was caught on camera and Kolb was identified through his credit card transaction and social media. Nye posted about the incident on Facebook. Police said another woman told them she had a similar incident a month earlier with a man fitting Kolb's description. Kolb told okay, so as I'm thinking to myself, maybe this guy is having a psychotic break, right? He told police he could not remember if he grabbed the girl. So you know what you were doing, but you can't remember if you grabbed her.
Yeah, and this is not even the first time he tried to purchase a girl. So he's been doing this.
So then the reporter tried to talk with, a reporter at D4vd tried to talk with Kolb at his home, but his wife attempted to close the door. Oh my God. Somebody needs to search his home. Is all I'm going to say.
Oh yeah.
This is the classic story, Jenna, of like creepy old man with a wife that kind of goes along with everything.
Yeah, and this is why you have to watch your kids when you're at Walmart, Target, the grocery store. For this exact reason, creepy old man coming up to grab your daughter. I mean,
I have a daughter around that age, and it's like I can't even imagine. I mean, I would have whooped his ass for
Oh
touching
my
my
God.
child.
If some man grabbed your daughter's arm and was like, yeah, like, I'd like to buy her, please, for $200,000, you'd be like, hell no. And you would probably call the police.
I can't. Now I need to Google this guy's name and see if he comes up since 2018. Helmut
Yeah, and like, I'm
Kolb.
sure he has a
Let's
record.
see. Can we get a snapshot of? Oh, here we go.
Oh, there he
That's
is
what he
at
looks
at the
like.
front door. Yep.
Yes, but wait, we see an obituary.
Oh.
I mean, how many Helmut Kolbs are? Okay, 2022. Is this the same one? Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see. Yes, it's him. He
Oh
died.
my God.
He
There
died
he is.
in 2022. Port
So
Orange, Florida.
Okay. So he died, what was that? You said 2018, so 4 years later.
Yeah.
He can't harm or try to
Any more
purchase any more
people.
girls anymore.
I mean, I wonder if he was demented. I don't know.
That's one word for him.
I mean, like dementia, Alzheimer. I mean, I don't know. This is just like, I want to be respectful to the family since he's passed away, but it's also like, what? That's just bizarre.
Like you said, yeah, it makes you wonder what the hell was going on in his house and what on earth kind of things were he doing. If he was doing that in public, what the hell was he doing in private? And that was a good one for our first Florida Man Google.
I know. I mean, you can't make this stuff up because it's stop. Who does that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, stop. Who does that? Helmuth.
Helmuth does it.
That's
Helmuth.
who does it. Helmuth. Yeah. So
my gosh.
I just want to thank everybody for listening to our first episode, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll be coming at you, Jackie, with more in the future.
Yes. If you really like this episode, we can also do a deep dive. I've got one in the works.
We have a local case that we've been wanting to discuss for quite some time, and I think that will be our next one.
Yeah, it just recently hit national headlines back in May when the husband was arrested, and this case is very local to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting reading the probable cause affidavit because a lot of the places mentioned in it are places I've been. So it just makes it even
your house. Yeah,
crazier.
We're apart, so this is, but it's still local to our area.
Yeah,
but we're about an hour apart from each other. So, but it's literally in Jackie's backyard.
Yeah,
really.
And yeah, I would love for us to highlight cases from Pennsylvania. That's where we live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get any more specific than that, but we live in Pennsylvania, and I would love to do some hometown cases that aren't getting a whole lot of traction and visibility.
Yeah,
to really shed some light on those,
as well as some of our favorites that we enjoy as well. Our favorite, being crime junkies, we have several favorite cases that I think we would love to talk about for you guys as well.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our episode, and please feel free to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and all that good stuff. And you can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.